All right. Well, yeah, I'll just get started. Yeah, I'm back after having the baby boy. So thanks. Yeah, here's safe. It was a little freak out initially because he wasn't quite breathing right. So like 15 people ran in the room and he was just purple. I'm like dying inside, but he's good now. But yeah, a couple things just to announce. So yeah, we're gonna do the trunk or treat on October 26th. I really wanted to do it on the 19th, but I do have a client's wedding that I got invited to that I totally forgot about on the 19th. If something changes for some reason and I really can't go to that, then maybe we'll do another one on the 19th. But as of now, we'll do the 26th. I know that there are a lot of different churches and groups that also do them on the 26th. So if you can make it, great. If you can't, I get it. But these events are really an opportunity just to invite people. Vanessa invited a bunch of people to our Pictures with Santa event last year, and she got some repeat business from it. Like, it's just a way to stay in front of your clients or potential clients that you have. Even if you know people are not into Halloween, doesn't matter. The point is, I'm telling you, right, when I say, hey, the real estate brokerage I work at is putting on a trunk or treat in Roseville. I'd love for you to attend. Someone says, well, I'm in Folsom. It's a little too far, but thank you. Doesn't matter. Don't be upset. It's that you told them, hey, I'm in real estate, without just flat out saying, hey, I'm in real estate. Because ideally you want to find ways just to give people things of value, right? We're trying to work through and we're having a change in our society where, it used to be totally fine to work a lot of online leads in any industry, but now there's so many scams, there's so many fake things out there. I mean, just getting on TikTok yesterday, I was told in one video that dentistry is a scam and that you should not have to go to a dentist. And I was like, this is interesting. And so they said some magic product makes it so you don't have to go to a dentist. I don't know. Another video was there was like 3 videos on different industries as to why you don't need that industry professional. And they immediately sell you on their weird product. And I just thought, and they sounded so scammy. And so it's hard to understand what's real and what's not real on the internet, which is why it's even more important to be connecting with people and building a relationship. I mean, in every group I'm a part of, everyone is saying the same thing. You have to find a way to build relationships with people, especially nowadays when you don't know what's real anymore. I mean, we're in the big political season, and every piece of news I hear, it's like, okay, but did that person actually say that? And it comes out, oh, they didn't actually say that. Oh, did this actually happen? Oh, it didn't actually happen. They're fibbing a little, quite a bit. So people right now want to be able to, it's hard for people to just naturally trust what they hear online. There are so many articles coming out, and there's so many things out there that you would think would sway people from going to the dentist, as an example. But does it sway people from going to the dentist? No, people still go to the dentist. Lots of people go to the dentist. So no dentist sees that video and says, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose all my customers because of this one video. That's silly, right? But we as realtors, we do that a lot, right? There's these programs coming out. I saw another video that was like, do you really need a realtor to sell your house? And then everyone, and I would think to myself, oh shoot, I wonder who sees this video. Well, probably some people, but not everyone. We still, to this day, are getting a lot of people thinking that, I think it's the majority of first-time homebuyers still think that they need 20% down to buy a house. So I do not believe that, even with the lawsuit, even with all these weird news articles coming out. I mean, Mary goes on Realtor.com, the company that sells us leads. We pay money to buy their leads. They're putting out multiple articles pretty much talking people out of buying a house. And most of the stuff is total BS. It doesn't make any sense. And Mary has put out a lot of good content about that.
I have one today about 20% down.
Yeah, where this guy was like, oh, it makes no sense to buy because you have to put 20% down. It's like, no, you don't. You do not have to put 20%. Like that. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this doctorate college professor just said that in an article on Realtor.com, where we buy the leads from. So just keep in mind that I still think no matter what information you hear out there, it's still not registering in people's heads because they don't know what to believe anymore. And so they're going to lean on you. I mean, I have a lot of past clients coming out to me and saying, "Hey, I saw that feds are going to drop rates. What does that mean?" Or, "Hey, I saw that there was some lawsuit. How does that affect you?" The more people that you find are reaching out and asking you this kind of stuff, the more it should validate that you've been connecting with people properly. You should always be connecting and finding any way that I can connect with people. Sure. Are there ways that you can cold call our lead pond and connect with them? Yes. Can you cold call potential probate listings, right, Vanessa? Or divorce leads or whatever. But I think a huge focus needs to be around relationships. So if you're someone who you want to work, the probate or trust sales, you need to build the relationship with the trust attorneys, not not cold calling people or running the advertisements online or posting a video. I think it's good to do that because when people look you up, they're going to find out that you're a professional. Like that is your resume. Your social media is just a quick resume. Doesn't need to be the most magical thing. Your ability to sell yourself in person during the interview. I'm thinking of this analogy and it's coming together really well. I actually thought about it yesterday. But yeah, think about this. I had someone recently who said, like, "Man, I really have to talk someone into why they should be using a realtor." And I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to being a realtor. Welcome to being a mortgage loan originator. Like, we are in sales and sometimes you're going to have to sell yourself." You can either look at that as a bad thing and a frustrating thing, or you can look at that as a good thing. I look at it as a good thing because most people are probably not going to sell themselves. They're going to open the door and say, "Do you like the house? Let me know because I'll write up the offer." No, you need to be someone prepared to sell yourself. Every single person that you even talk to in your everyday life, that is your interview. Your resume is your social media presence. That doesn't have to be your focus. I think everyone should pick two things that are their main focus. They should be doing multiple things to grow their business, but two things that are their focus. If social media is not your absolute focus, get on list reports, get on Lofty, and just share things constantly. Vanessa, you're doing a great job making those videos. I keep sharing your videos and Rebecca's, and I've actually had multiple people say, "Hey, actually, it was yours, Vanessa." My girlfriend's mom was like, "I really like that one girl where she had the kid run through the video." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You shared it on your story." I'm like, "Oh, Vanessa, I think, because the only one with kids that I shared the video of." And so people see that, and it was an easy way for people to build relationships. So if that's one of your focus, then make that your focus. I do think building relationships in some way should be a huge focus. Vanessa's husband is a nurse. Man, any way that she can build a relationship with those people in the hospital is going to be the moneymaker for her, right? I was just at the hospital and, for our baby, and I asked them because I said, "Do you guys have like some type of break room where people bring stuff?" And they go, "Well, we have a break room, but no one really brings us stuff. What do you mean?" And I'm like, in my head, I thought, "Oh, realtors are constantly bringing stuff to these nurses in their break rooms." Apparently not. So there's a lot of untapped potential out there, and it just takes consistency and it takes building relationships. I think that everyone becomes the secret agent, so I've heard, and they think, "Why haven't I closed a deal in so long?" Or why does this seem like it's not working? And it's like you need to come back to reality and remind yourself, when was the last time you told someone that you're a real estate agent? When was the last time you posted something? When was the last time you promoted yourself? You will always be your best promoter, but you are also the only one that is really going to promote you properly. Like, we try to, but unfortunately, you will be your best promoter. It's the same thing. Someone posts a job and there's 50 jobs that you're looking at, possibly getting. If I don't apply for them, I'm not going to get the jobs. That's how I kind of see people. I'm not here to sell them anything, but that is my client. They're looking to hire me for a job. My job is to help them buy a house, sell a house, find investment properties, something, right? So if I'm not going to apply for the job, I mean, how are they supposed to know that I'm there, right? Social media is great because with list reports and with other things, when they go to look you up, they see, "Oh, this person's relevant." I've posted so many videos of different houses and stuff like that. For my first 6 months in the industry, I didn't sell a single, or 4 months, didn't sell a single house, but I did open houses every single weekend. And I had friends from high school that lived all over the area that I'd connect with after month 4. And they're like, man, you are killing it in real estate. Like, you really found something that you're good at. You're selling so many houses. And I'm like, what? I haven't sold a single house. What do you mean? I'm like, oh, they think that the open houses I'm posting about and just these pictures I'm sharing, they don't even read the description where I say, what a beautiful listing, Sarah James. They're just seeing a picture of a house and they think, oh, I sold it. So remember that the more that you can you don't have to overthink it. You just share it. That becomes your resume. So you got to promote yourself. You got to figure out your habits, right? Mary had a good point from a podcast she listened to, where it was a mortgage loan originator who makes, how much did he make? Did he say?
Like 30 to 90,000 a month.
30 to 90,000 a month, and said he hates it. He hates talking to realtors, which sometimes I don't blame him. We all have dealt with some crazy realtors. He hates talking to clients, hates dealing with underwriters. It's very frustrating. He said, how do I get around that? And essentially what's her name? Layla Hermosi. If you want to look her up, she's a great, not motivational speaker, great businesswoman. She pretty much said, you got to figure out what part of your business do you enjoy doing and do that. Like, for her, she didn't like working at home, right? So she built her own culture in it. So she got an office, hired people that she liked to be around, so that it made it fun to be in the office, right? You got to figure out what makes you happy and makes things enjoyable, because not everything is enjoyable. You can make a plan and you just go and do it. Like, I don't like sending messages all the time to different realtors, but I just copy and paste, because every once in a while I get someone who says, oh my gosh, I just had this weird interaction with my boss. Actually, Vanessa had this kind of, but this person happened recently. They're like, he weirded me out. And I really feel like, it was borderline, like, not sexual harassment, but pretty much inviting himself over to my apartment. I'm like, whoa, what the heck? And they're like, yeah, and the company is ignoring it. But it was just like, that person just switched companies. And so I never would have thought, oh, they're looking to change companies, but I just sent the message and they were wanting to change companies. So just keep in mind that there are always opportunities out there. You just got to execute it. And if you're frustrated and saying, there's some things that I just really don't enjoy doing, well, find what you do enjoy doing so that it's just easier to do it.
And I was going to say the whole point was he hated his job. And he found a new passion for teaching young high school students entrepreneurial skills, like how to build a business. And he loves it and he enjoys it. And the point that Layla made was, as soon as you take your passion and start charging for it, it becomes a business. And every business is hard. Like, just because you love it doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. So it's just whatever business you decide to do, and us being in real estate, just find the things that make you happy. So like, I did an open house with this realtor 2 weekends ago, I think. And he puts in so much effort into his open houses because he genuinely likes promoting local businesses. Well, I'm on, they can see me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He genuinely enjoys like promoting local businesses. He's got like a business network, and he went way out of his way to like Apple Hill to get these like crazy apple fritters from this business that he loves. He gives them business. They post about him. He's basically just creating relationships and like going above and beyond. But that's the thing that makes it fun for him.
Yeah.
And like, that doesn't have to be your thing, but like, I like coming into the office. I like hanging out with you and talking about business and talking about this.
But because it's like an activity that promotes him and that he enjoys it, he doubles down on it. Like, I know people who, they live and breathe that you have to door knock and farm, because they're like, I've closed this many deals. This guy closes a lot of deals, and he doesn't door knock. He doesn't do that, right? So for the open houses.
So, but he finds a way to do it that's enjoyable. He doesn't just door knock and say, hey, I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
He promotes like, hey, this is going on in your community. These are, there's a newsletter with events, and he's like a fun crossword puzzle, like he finds ways.
And I've had more often than not, I get realtors who do that as well. They'll say, Oh, I thought about door knocking, or I thought about doing open houses, but I don't like it. I don't like one recently was like, I just don't, I would hate for someone to door knock on me and bug me. Like, okay, well, if someone knocked on your door, what could they possibly say to you that you feel like you would be receptive to it? Like, what if they told you about new local restaurants? They're like, oh yeah, I'd be really receptive. I'm like, so find, right, put yourself in their shoes and make yourself like, I know people who they throw parties at their open houses. I mean, the guy who came in here to talk about open houses the other week, he's like, I mean, probably said it like 30 times. So I'm sure there's a little bit of a problem there. He's not in our brokerage, but he loves to drink, loves it. And he's like, so if I'm going to sit at an open house on a Sunday, instead of like doing what I want to do, I'm going to make it something I want to do. I know someone who he loves golf. And so he brought a putt into his open houses, like a little rollout mat, because he would just sit there and putt because he'd be bored. But people would come in and their kids would play with it. They would do it too. It's just like you everything is about changing our perspective is the main point of this whole thing. Whenever you hit a wall, you have to figure out, okay, is this actually a wall, or can I just change my perspective about it? Like yesterday, someone came and, did you hear what she said? And I was like, well, that's your perspective. Oh, yeah, I don't remember either. It was something about, are people really buying right now with where interest rates are at? And I'm like, well, that's your perspective. The thing is I've met so many people who are so tired of renting houses because their landlords keep selling them and they keep having to move to new houses. I meet people constantly that they've just grown up to believe that that is the American dream, is to own a house, which I agree with. I've met so many people who, honestly, they've never owned a house. So they've never really imagined what a payment looks like. And to them, it's, if they can handle the payment, they'd rather own the house. They don't want to be renting, because even if it's double the cost of rent, they would rather some money go towards paying down a house. I know others that are just really smart and they're like, I have yet to see values really drop over a 10-year period. I want to buy a house, because why would I wait? I don't care if it costs more. My value of my apartment doesn't go up for me. It costs me more because they're going to keep increasing rent. So that person who said, are people really buying? Interest rates are too high. Well, when you hit that wall and you think, okay, I've just hit a wall. Why would people use me? Well, let me change my perspective. Why would people use me? Let me sell myself. Okay. What value do I add to people as to why they should use me? Let me get that figured out, written down. And then when I have a conversation with someone and they ask me how the real estate market is, I'm going to find a way to sneak this in and tell them, well, the real estate market's tough. But what I really like is that it's still competitive, and I'm really good about educating my clients on when something's a good deal and when something's a bad deal. When is a good time to not put in an offer because don't waste any of your money, and when is a good time to put in your offer, take advantage of a good deal when you can. And that's what I like about my industry. I'm not here to sell anyone. I'm here to represent them. That's what I used to say to people, and they would later, after our poker nights or something, they'd be like, hey, by the way, I'm thinking about buying, or my coworker's thinking about buying, can you talk to them? So
I would say also, like, that wall, that objection, it's like you're assuming that everybody is the same.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same thought process. Everybody has the same situation. Yeah. And that's totally not true at all.
Yeah. That's the perspective change.
Yeah. Those people, sure, maybe you don't work with them.
Yeah.
There's tons of other people in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. So everything's a perspective, but that helps you problem solve and figure things out, right? If I think, man, the Fed is going to announce this afternoon, which this afternoon is coming up for the East Coast. The interest rates have dropped. Mortgage rates have already reflected that drop, in my opinion. It could go one way or another, right, for this drop. And we'll segue to the mortgage side discussion in a second. But whatever they announce, if they cut rates, it's probably, you're going to get a lot of people reaching out to say, hey, I heard rates dropped. Yes, that is how I would answer it. Yes, rates dropped. Let's talk, right? Did mortgage rates really drop? Probably not. Because mortgage rates are not based off the Fed rates, but sometimes if it's really good news that the Fed announces, then mortgage rates will drop. It's up to speculation. Don't want to get too far into it. But yes, let's talk about it. I think there's a lot of times where we hear something and we go, oh, I think they might drop more. Or, what if people are wanting to wait until they drop more? Listen, you've created an objection in your head. I had someone recently who said, well, when rates drop, it's going to be really hard for me to get a commission when I represent buyers. I'm like, okay, boom, you hit your wall. I'm not going to be able to get my commission. Is there room for you to change your perspective where you are going to get a good commission? I told this agent, I'm like, how many listings have you had? She said 6. I said, great. Did you have deals where the buyer's agent did not answer the phone and you had no idea what was going on? She said, oh, yeah, all the time. I actually get compliments when I represent buyers from listing agents because I answer the phone. I'm like, then tell them that. Submit your offer asking for 2.5% and tell them, listen, I'm asking 2.5% because I will answer the phone. I will make sure that pending craziness with the house, that we get this deal closed. I use and have talked them into using my preferred lender who I work with all the time, and they will answer the phone all the time. We are a team. That's why we're asking for 2.5%. Boom. I now get the opportunity to sell myself, whereas before, the listing agent is just trying to win over the listing and they might just get you 2% or 1.5%. I've seen that before. So now I feel like this is such a better time for me to be able to consistently get the commission that I want and I feel I deserve, because now the ball's in my court. I can sell it. I don't care if the market's really competitive. When the market was competitive in 2021, we still had deals that were absolute nightmares. And that is what I will remind listing agents and how I will sell them why they should work with me, not that other agent who never called them and just asked for 1.5%. So everything is a perspective change. I don't want to talk too much about it, but to go on to mortgage rates. So I do believe, rates are already starting to drop. If you have past clients that you're trying to reconnect with, now's a good time to talk to them, that maybe reconnect with the lender who did the loan. If they don't like that lender, they can feel free to reach out to us as well. Totally up to you, but now's a good time to say, hey, you may want to think about refinancing. Rates are really starting to improve. I don't think that there is going to be another cut unless if the economy really starts to tank. I don't think there's going to be another big cut and big rate drop until late spring of next year, in my opinion. I think they're really nervous about what's going to happen after they do this initial cut, because there's so much uncertainty. Whenever governments wait this long to do a cut, historically it's in response to a pending collapse. There's a lot of people that say that it's not. So who knows? I think there's going to be a waiting period. So people who think, oh, well, why don't I just wait till spring? Well, I don't think it's going to be worth waiting till spring, in my opinion. It'd be better to buy now and refinance later. It'd be better to refinance now and refinance again in spring. So there's that. The other thing is they just announced the new conforming loan limits. Do you mind looking that up?
805.
It's 805. That's what I would look at. So before things became a jumbo loan at 766,000 and some change, what that meant is if the loan amount hit 765,000, they could be putting 3% down. They could be doing a down payment assistance program. The second that loan amount hit 767, it was immediately probably 0.5% to 1% higher, and they were immediately required to put 10% down because it became a jumbo loan. So that's obnoxious. Now they announced starting January in 2025, it will officially be 806,000 and some change, which is a huge jump. Last time it was about a $13,000 jump, I think, maybe 20,000. So this is a really big jump. There are a lot of houses in our market where it's going to be a lot easier for people to qualify and it not be a jumbo loan. Some of the lenders out there are already allowing you to take advantage of that. So we have access to UWM. If you have a client who is their loan amount is looking to be in that price range, please reach out to us, because our lender UWM already allows them to take, the loan limit. Basically, they don't sell the loan to the secondary market until January 1st of next year. Yes, they hold on to the loan. Because most lenders, what they do is you put the loan together, you close on the house, and then they go and they sell it to the government agencies. Some lenders, if they say, oh, that's going to be the new loan limit, then we'll just hold on to them and sell them January 1st. It's too complicated. Not going to get into it, but just know that that is an option if you have any of those higher end buyers or past clients that you feel like, hey, we hit that wall. Let me retouch base with them again to see if now maybe they'd be more excited to go buy, because it usually is a lot better of an interest rate as well. Yeah. Any questions from you all that are on the call? The main thing is October 26th, we've got our trunk or treat event. We have videos on Discord on how to create your own Eventbrite and sort of inviting people. Sabia, I'll get you that video.
Okay.
I'll get you added to our Discord.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll probably also do a mix of like a Halloween party as well for the office. So we'll have some Costco pizzas, some salads here, maybe a little fruit platter. And then feel free to bring your families. We'll have just drinks, food, just hang out. Yeah, we'll figure out a time. Probably, I don't remember what time we did it last year. I think like 4 to 6.
Yeah.
But we'll just keep going into the evening for just a brokerage meet and greet Halloween party. And then in November we'll probably do we'll pick a date, but we'll do a brokerage family Thanksgiving potluck. I always like doing that for anyone who wants to do it. And then of course, come Christmas, we have our Pictures with Santa event, which is always a hit. It's just really fun. There's crafts for kids. We have a Santa come in and take professional pictures, and then we'll plan our Christmas party, which that's a lot of fun. All right. Any questions, Sabia?